Hey, gorgeous. It's Polly with Get Busy Thriving. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to share with you about creating higher standards for yourself. It's so true that the people that we consider successful in life, that have things that we want to have, the great physique or health or energy or relationships that are thriving and loving, the financial success, the business success, whatever it is, the spiritual, continuity or peace in their lives. They have that because they have a standard for themselves. They set a standard, they decide, they create a new identity. All those words are true, however you want to define it for yourself. And then they live into it, right? So if you want to change your life, what you're saying is, where I want to go, this new vision I have for myself, I want to create a new identity. I want to become a different person, be different things in my life, do and have what other people have that I want. So they raise their standards. Raising your standards, changing your identity is the first step to having something different. But you can just say that you want something. You can say, oh, I want to have a better body, or I want to have more money in my life, or I want to have a deeper relationship. But until you back that up with daily rituals, you got to put the support structure in place. I've achieved great success in the past few years in physical health, in the best condition of my life at age 45, where I've been, athletic and done things my whole life. But to be in the best condition of my life, to achieve, Olympic triathlons and compete in 12-hour adventure races with, very fit people, I had to make some changes. And I can remember from myself, those changes don't just happen. You have to put training plans in place. Maybe there's new rituals that I had to take on. There's new training levels that I had to do. And I can remember saying to myself, for a period of about 6 months, I just said, some people go to the gym and maybe they're sore for a couple of days or what have you. And then they, they're like, oh, and then you get over it and then you kind of reach a plateau and it's like, yeah, I'm good, and then they work out and maybe they get a little sore here and there if they push themselves. But I can remember as I saw for myself the vision that I had, the higher standard that I have for where I was going, and these, being able to compete in a 12-hour adventure race is a very different standard than being able to run a 10K or, just go on a small hike. And I knew to achieve that I had to up-level my conditioning and my exercise. And so I did. And for me, I can remember a period where it was about 6 months where I just remember telling people around me, like, I'm just sore every day. Like, it was the state that I was living in. I was expanding myself. I was growing every day. All my muscles were growing in new areas. There was no muscle that wasn't, I would say, under attack, but it wasn't under pressure to expand and grow. And I was growing mentally and physically and cardiovascularly and just what I expected of myself, and getting my life to work around that as well. So if there's an area of your life that isn't where you want it to be, it's because you've got an old story, you've got an old standard or an old identity. Any of those words could be true for you. That if you're unhappy with that area of your life, you probably have a standard that you're not living up to. And so what rituals, what plan do you need? What steps do you need? What story do you need to motivate you, to inspire you to achieve that? So that thing that you want is no longer a nice to have or a want, it's a must. When I hit the button and I sign up for a race, it becomes a must for me. That is like my moment of decision, and it's like, okay, I'm all in. And whatever that looks like for you, in coaching with people I do with all areas of their life, sometimes we have to get to that enough point. We get to that point where it's like, I am so tired. I am so sick of living this way, this miserable way, this thing that I'm doing to myself or not doing. I'm not following through. I'm not living a life that's joyous. I'm not taking good care of my health, or I'm abusing it. Maybe you're abusing it with smoking, drinking, overeating, whatever it looks like. You get to that enough point. You get to that breakthrough point, and then you finally decide. It's like hitting the button for me on choosing to enter a race that scares the hell out of me. I had never run a 12-hour race before in my life, and I had about 6 months from the point when I hit that button and I said, okay, I'm doing this, to when I was going to be in that race. And it was an entirely different state. I lived in California and I was doing it in Colorado, so I knew no one. I didn't know the terrain or anything. And in adventure races, you have no, you're not allowed GPS. There's no race course. You literally have to find your way through the backcountry on your own. Like, this is you, baby. You got to be able to survive it. It's not a 24-hour race where I'm out there sleeping and whatnot, but but it was something totally radically different. And I was scared to death when I said, okay, I just clicked submit, I'm doing this race. But I raised my standards of what I thought was possible. I up-leveled the ring, I put myself in a new ring. I began playing at a new level in a new game, and I wasn't willing to stop. And then I had 6 months to figure it out. It was like, okay, this is where we're going. And what got me up, like today I'm here in California, it's a gloomy January day, and I've already done my morning rituals, my morning process to prime myself, and gone out for a run and taken a shower, and I feel fantastic. I've done motivational videos while I'm out running that just light me up. And what keeps me going is that mission, that purpose, where I'm going with these things, the standards that I have for my business, for my coaching, for myself, like who I want to be. And I follow that up with rituals. And there's no wavering on these rituals. I don't think in the morning, oh, I kind of don't feel like doing it. I've conditioned myself for so many years that when I say go, I go. I get up, gloomy, not gloomy. I mean, if it was pouring rain, I might have a second choice, maybe do it later, but I go and I plan around that. I think about that ahead of time. Can I do that, or do I need to go indoors and get my routine completed? But I get it done. I make time for it. I make it a priority. I have daily rituals that allow me to up-level and grow that. Those 6 months when I was growing and building muscles in all areas of my life, I have built those muscles now. They sit on my body, and now I'm in off season, so I train them at about a level 80%. I work them and I keep them active and alive, but I don't need to train them and to create them because they're there, right? So if you want to change an area of your life, look at what your standard is, what you're accepting for yourself. What's your story around that area of your life? And are you satisfied with that? Be honest with yourself. Know yourself and what you're telling yourself about that. Get strategies, get rituals, put things in place, get support if you need it. And managing your state is so important. Self-care, talking to yourself kindly, lovingly, supporting yourself, being your best cheerleader, taking care of you, so important. And lastly, who are you spending time with? Are you spending time with winners or losers? Are you spending time with people who are up to better things and they're growing themselves and they have these things that you want in your life? Or are you spending time with people where you're the smartest one in the group, or you make the most money, or you're in the best shape of your life? You have got to surround yourself with people that grow you. So if you were going to play tennis and get on the court with someone who played worse than you, do you think your game's going to improve? Stay the same, or possibly you just sort of do it half-heartedly? If you get on the tennis court with someone that is better than you, do you think your game will improve? And I ask you, if you want to achieve those standards, that growth that you want in your life, how can you begin to take on for yourself a new story, new self-care, and invite people into your life and let go of people out of your life that don't meet your new standard, and invite the ones in who do? Get on the court with new people who are up to greater things, and maybe you can find them in social media or going to workshops or whatever it is, but find those people. Get that support, up-level your life, raise your standards, and don't come backwards. And commit, and you allow yourself, when you raise your standards, being a stand for what you believe in and what you're willing to accept for yourself in your life, allows the people around you to decide what they're a stand for. And not all of them will up-level with you, and that's okay. Be okay with that, but keep commitment to your standards and what you want for yourself in your life. Don't shrink back to play on their court. Rise up to play on a new court. I hope that helps. Like this if this was helpful for you.